All right, welcome back to the channel. If you've been waiting for video 7 on the 56 Ford, it's about to drop. Doing final assembly here. All right, on this video, we're doing the full chassis assembly. Chassis is everything that the vehicle needs to get down the road, starting with the motor. We got a big 24 valve Cummins going in there. It's got twin turbos. We call it compound turbos on the diesel side of things. Gonna make 1,200 horsepower. I believe 2,750 foot-pounds of torque. Could be wrong on that. I'm just a dumb metal bender, but that's what we're putting into this thing. So the chassis had to be built extra strong to hold all that torque. Everybody kept scaring us on about how strong we got to build everything. So everything's built like a tank on this truck. After the engine's installed, we're going to move on to installing all the brakes, the air ride, the fuel line, the brake lines, everything. So ride along and you'll see how we get it done. Back end is a true dually. We're running big semi wheels. This 22.5 semi wheels turned down to run a low profile tire. It's a low rider thing. So you can see it's a big massive rear end, got a lot of stuff to push around. So we chose AccuAir. AccuAir stepped up and wanted to be a part of this game. So we got AccuAir E-level going in on everything. The downside is we hide everything, so AccuAir don't get to have all their parts shown. We built little compartments and got everything running through the chassis. Everything's hidden. So from the bottom of the truck and the top of the truck, you don't see any of all of this stuff you're seeing right now. Everything will be hidden. It looks like a mess before it starts looking good. Moving on to all the brake lines. There's a lot of brake lines to stop this big rig. So everything's all stainless steel. Everything's got to be tidy, nice tight fit. You know, the finished product, all of these parts all play in part in making that finished product. All right, looks like I'm laying down on the job again, but I'm actually in a tight little spot of putting in the old air products into the cab, marking holes and drilling holes to run all the lines through. Once again, we're hiding everything. We don't want to see anything that makes the truck work. We just want the truck to work. After that's all done, we got to test fit the dash, center console, make sure everything's clear, and dash and center console come out so many times during this process. We got to put all the stereo together. We got the Alpine double din radio going in. It all gets held into the center console and once again hidden. Putting the gauges in the dash, we opted to go with Dakota Digital, top of the line stuff on the market right now. American Auto Wire is who we choose to go with. They make things as simple as they can make it. But like I say all the time, once again, we try to hide all their stuff too. So we mount the fuse boxes and everything up on the firewall, underneath the dash, in the center console, whatever we got to do, and then it's just miles and miles of wiring. All the stereo, all the everything that makes the truck run, a whole bunch of wires. In the end, they'll all be hidden, put away, tidy and nice, and hopefully everything works. But that's where the plan is.
Yep. I guess let's go around the list.
Okay, yeah, they only got those bolts for you.
Yeah, it's not. Trying to do adjustments now, get everything close. And then we'll come back and fine tune it once we get door seals on, get weight in the door from the glass and everything else.
the gap here looks really nice. Go back.
Go back. Don't say it needs to go back.
We go back.
We're pinned in. Now that we got the doors hung on the truck, we're gonna go ahead and get all the door handles, window regulators, all the felts, everything put in them. Do one final adjustment. Everything should be all good.
We are wrapping the back of the cab with foam, so we have cushion. Worst case scenario, if the bed comes too far forward, little protection.
You need a wrench or something to get it out there? This way, I understand now. Get it up. All right, so we're gonna have to pivot.
Alright, watch your step.
Now you're gonna have to go
Get
that
close.
way. Me and Chris are gonna have to
Alright,
walk
come
around.
back.
And then up over. So we gotta get it back down. Yeah. Put down. How much?
Probably shut the back down on the frame.
We're pretty lined up here.
Put down. We gotta go forward. Yeah, we're set for pivoting on something.
Well, you got that big old Cummins in the front of that chassis, so now we got to do the exhaust to get it all the way out the back. Pretty easy exhaust compared to what we normally mess with, but quite a bit bigger than what we normally mess with. Big old 4-inch pipe going all the way down, and then at the rear end, we're actually going to split it into 2 3-inch pipes that exits out the fender. So pretty cool there. A lot of fab work, but like I said, straight pipe with no mufflers and everything. It makes it a lot easier on the exhaust end as far as building up the exhaust. Here we got Nick running the plasma cutter. He's cutting out all our custom link exhaust hangers. Nothing really fancy, but we needed a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than what we could buy off the shelf. So we have the capability of making our own, so that's what we did. Once the exhaust is all done, it's all 100% stainless steel and TIG welded. We went with a little bit different look. We have to do heat wrap on some of the exhaust here and there for the heat right up by the firewall. So we opted to go with a titanium look and wrap it all the way out the back. So it's all got a little unique wrap going on. And then it kind of ties in with the color of the motor and all the accent colors. So I think it's pretty cool looking. All hands on deck when we're trying to make a deadline. We even got Noah under here. He's doing some pipe holding and wrench turning. Now you can see a little bit of the heat wrap versus our accent color on the motor. I think they complement each other pretty well. Mark's gonna put on the big old turbo blankets, is what they call them. They're in that same color titanium as the heat wrap. They're gonna keep the hot side of the turbo away from burning up paint or even getting the interior of the truck too uncomfortably hot. Like I said, we're gonna run this on the street, so we want all the Cadillac comforts. Come back my way.
Had a couple gremlins we had to try to figure out on install. So we got those figured out, got the truck started up, and there's a break-in procedure since this truck is basically top to bottom, full rebuilt motor, you know, everything's new. So being that we got compound turbos, I think they're wanting to push like 100 pounds of boost, run it for about 15-20 minutes, let it get hot. We do have coolant in it, so that's why we're gonna run it for about 15 to 20 minutes. If we didn't have coolant in it, we would run it for about 5 or 10 minutes or so, let the rings really break in. So with these diesels, you got to get a lot of heat in them, get them worn in, that way you don't have issues down the road smoking or anything like that. So get it broke in, do a little heat cycle on it, then we'll rip the valve cover off and retorque the head, do everything necessary for that, and then keep going with the retorque procedure and break-in procedure on the motor.
Now we're taping up all these windows that are machined in here are staying shiny. The rest of the wheel's getting painted. So we gotta take our time, tape them up, make nice clean lines, get the wheels painted.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more build videos like this, help us out by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. And it's a little thing to do, but don't forget to turn on those notifications. If you want to buy merch, go to store.classiccarstudio.com. See you next time.